Houston, we have a problem. Hospitality industry, they're going against TikTok influencers because the influencers are directing traffic. They're telling the customers where to go. They're telling them where the best beverage and food experiences are. Have Ego here, TikTok influencer, who has been doing exactly that. Are you from Houston?
No,
And they're not from Houston. And they're telling people where to go. But guess what? I met her at one of my events. She was lovely. She had nothing but good things to say at Craft Class. It was a cocktail experience. They brought in some beverage directors from around the city. A great networking opportunity too, amongst influencers, other influencers there. So tell me, Ego, what brings you to Houston? What do you influence? What do you create content about?
Yes, so I originally moved to Houston because my first job out of law school moved me here. So I moved here in 2021. Yes, I graduated law school in 2021, and I took the bar. I think the bar was Tuesday, Wednesday. I kind of washed that memory, and then I moved on a Saturday. That I remember. So I moved in the same week that I took the bar exam, and that was my first job out of law school. And I've always created content, even in undergrad, but I never took it seriously until I moved to Houston. And I would say my content is centered around my life.
Okay, and when you were creating content before you got to Houston, what was that content? Was it still lifestyle around food, beverage experiences?
Yeah, I would say it was still centered around my life. My life is a lifestyle.
And what would you say, because when we got connected, you didn't have a TikTok at all, I mean, Instagram at all, and then you were kind of primarily focused on TikTok. What made you go to TikTok to create this content versus Instagram, where your initial family and friends would be?
Yes, so I actually started off on Instagram. I actually still have the first picture I ever took. I was like, ooh, I could do this. And so it was in Atlanta. I think it was my 21st birthday. I was at this restaurant that is now closed, but it was a great Japanese restaurant. And so I started posting on TikTok, and I had a blog that I actually made. I coded it myself, and I would post blog posts and Instagram posts. And then I went through a life crisis, girly things, and deactivated my Instagram. But I was on TikTok already, and I was posting on TikTok. And then I grew most of my following kind of towards the end of last year from going live. Then once I decided I really want to focus on my content, I grew my content following. So I had about 13K from going live, and now I'm at about 21 point something K, and that is from actual content. So it's split, and it was kind of like I had to refigure my whole TikTok, but it was easy to do because, well, I did it. Whereas Instagram, I think Instagram has changed, and I decided to reactivate my Instagram because I understand the value of having both. Instagram is more of an established platform. Brands trust it more. There's a lot of money in advertising, et cetera, that's put into it because Meta has its whole verse. So I wanted to get back on there, and it's been a journey. I talk to myself on Instagram right now, but it's okay.
That's part of the game. But when it comes to TikTok, I know you said you did live, but you also created content. Do those people consume content differently? Are these two different audiences, or are there some overlap there?
100%. As a woman live streamer, most of your audience is going to be men. That's just what it is. So when I've always created content, but live is a quick way to make money. Not gonna lie.
What type of money?
Good money. On my birthday, I made $4,000 basically, and that was after TikTok's cut. So technically $8,000, but TikTok takes half for live.
And it's just people just sending you money.
Gifts, yeah.
Okay.
So on my birthday live,
what were you doing on live?
Huh?
What were you doing on the live?
Battling. I had a big battle for my birthday, and then I just.
What does that mean? You gotta talk to us like we don't know what's happening.
Okay, so you can like battle people on TikTok. So it's I don't even know how long. I think it's a 5-minute battle, and then people just throw gifts.
Freestyle battle?
No, just like literally gift battle. So people just throw gifts, and the biggest gift you could throw on TikTok, if you buy it off the app, I think it's like almost $500.
Interesting.
So I got a few of those on my birthday.
And so obviously somebody sends you $500. Is it somebody you know, somebody that you're messaging in the DMs? How has that community been?
They definitely be trying to DM you, get your number, try to date you, but you got to keep them in the delusional place of TikTok.
Are these people even in Houston, or are these people like in?
No. They're all over the world, the U.S.
And then when it comes to the content that you're creating for, I guess for the main feed, I know there's been a lot of showcasing what's happening around Houston, and that happens to be a different demographic.
Yeah, I had to build that demographic. So when I really decided, okay, I want to focus on my content, and although live was great money, I'm like, that's not really my passion. Like content is, and I feel like it's hard to do both because live is obviously in the moment you're live. And so when I decided to focus on my content, I had a low female following, so I had to rebuild that and build that up and rebuild my engagement because it was mostly people who didn't really care for content. It was people who wanted to see me go live. It was 13,000 people from that, just going live.
And I know you've had some experience out here in turning some of that online engagement into actual real world events, because I know after the first craft class, you ended up having a candle making in class. So was TikTok how you were able to fuel that?
Yes, so my first class was actually a perfume class.
A perfume.
I'm now doing a candle class. But I would say yes, through TikTok, I was able to sell out the class. So I'm hoping to do the same for the candle class.
And the people who ended up buying those tickets, are these people that you knew at all?
Some of my friends did fly in, and in terms of people in actually Houston, one of my friends lives in Houston, but I knew her from New Jersey. But outside of my core friends that were my friends for years, I didn't know anyone.
Okay.
So my friends came to support me. My mom bought a ticket for me to donate.
So what was that like being around people that you hadn't met before who pulled up for this class, this in-person experience?
It was a lot because people I stood up to do a speech and I was shocked that everyone wanted to record me. I know it sounds dumb because why wouldn't they? I was like, oh, I think someone probably has a video of me saying, oh wow, there's a lot of cameras.
And this is a new level too because luckily I've been a bartender, so I've been used to being in front of strangers all my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
People doing stuff, I'm doing silly stuff for the camera. Content creation, but somebody like you, law school, you're creating content, you're going on solo days, all of a sudden you have this in-person experience. That's a different psychological shift, I guess, is happening.
Yeah, definitely. I would say even when I went out, I went to Joey's one random night, and as soon as I walked in, someone was just like, hey, I know you, I follow you on TikTok. I was like, huh?
Because you follow me on TikTok, you like Joey's a lot. I see that.
Yes. And so a girl who followed me, I ran into her there. I was like, oh.
And what was the next steps after that? Follow up? You follow her back? What do you do?
I didn't follow her back, but I did message her, or she messaged me. I responded. One or the other, but either way, I responded.
That's good. That's good. And so, I know you get a chance to go out. You're what I call an educated consumer. You're somebody who's had a chance. Like a lot of times, people in your position go out more than people who actually work in the industry. So you really have a really good opinion when it comes to what's actually good, what isn't. And when it comes to that, when you go about crafting your future events, what are some of the things that you need to make sure that it has, so that way that it has the experience that you know is elite?
I would say just looking at it from the consumer standpoint, I like to, even when I create content and when I go places, I like to look at it from a consumer's standpoint, not a content creator. Like today I mentioned, I thought I was just coming here as a layperson. Like I still view myself as a layperson, and I feel like that's what makes my content more authentic, because I don't, if you ever watch me make content, it's not as curated or anything. It's very much, well, okay, maybe I'm moving a tripod right now, but that's different. But for the most part, if you went to a restaurant meet, it's very as if I was posting on a regular Instagram story. All my content, I'm not gonna say I don't go the extra mile because that might be taken the wrong way, but it's very realistic in terms of how I do the content. And let's say I had an hour to go out to dinner, at most it would be an hour 10. Content does not add. It goes with my day. It does not disrupt my day. So all my content is very natural and very much really happening.
And as you're creating this content, how do you go about deciding what's good? Is it because of you consuming other people's content and putting it together, or is it because of you just looking at your analytics? What's going on?
I would say I watch all of my videos and I do a gut check. There was a time I watched one of my videos after I posted it and I just scrolled. It was probably 5 seconds in. I was like, oh, Jesus, that's my video. And it was bad. I was like, okay, well, so then I was like, okay, why did I do that? What about that video made me just mindlessly scroll? Because I mindlessly scroll, obviously, for other people's videos, but I did it to my own. And so if I'm doing that to my own video at 5 seconds, imagine a stranger. And that's my own voice. I know my voice. And I still mindlessly scrolled. So stuff like that, and just even looking at my content, I like to stay true to myself. Obviously, you can look at other people's content and get inspiration. No one's the originator of everything, but I would say I'm very much a rigid person. I say to what's true to me. I think what's trending right now is all those complicated, can you curse?
Yeah.
Oh, all those complicated ass edits, and they hurt my eyes, right? I'm not about to have myself chopping onions and then my body's gonna morph in and now I'm washing dishes. That shit hurts my eyes. It's a skill. I respect it. It's definitely, you could tell that person is a good editor, but I think stuff like that is just useless.
I think it's impress other editors,
Right.
It's who has the bigger truck? It's
right. Or maybe that might be for brands or anything, but then how can you really sell a product like that? No one's going to pay attention to the product. I think it's just showing your skill set, and maybe that's a very niche brand deal that you might be able to get, maybe for Adobe or something. But I would say even that is just, I like editing, and I feel my editing style, I have my own editing style, I would say. I don't know, everyone might not agree with me, but I have my own editing style, how I film. A lot of my stuff is no less than 20 clips. And even if it's 9 seconds, I have stuff that's 60 plus clips and it's 10 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, I can show you my CapCut. So I'm actually a CapCut template creator too, and sometimes I look at my templates, I'm like, why are people using them? Then I see how many they clips are, and I'm like, oh, that's why no one's using it. It's fucking 60 clips.
So you'll make something raw and then upload to the CapCut, and other people can use that same template?
Yeah, I can show you it.
So this is crazy. So CapCut essentially is a video editing social media. Then
It is. A lot of people don't know, and you can monetize CapCut.
it's crazy. I didn't know that either.
So these are my.
Do you have a separate following for your CapCut account?
Yeah, I can show you. I have 1,300 people following me on CapCut. So I became a CapCut creator, I think in June or July of this year.
Yeah.
And so
And
far,
they monetize based off of people using your
CapCut,
templates, and if theirs go viral.
Yeah, that's part of it too. So exports matter. So if someone's just using it on the app but not exporting, you might not make as much as if it hits TikTok. And if it hits TikTok and it goes viral, that could increase how much you make.
You are a TikTok expert.
Yeah. So far today,
You're talking about the live donation. You understand the maximum amounts. You're over here talking about this right here. This is very interesting.
And so far from CapCut, I've made $2,600 from and it wasn't July, it was end of June till now.
So how much do you like being a lawyer?
I like it a lot. I'm never gonna stop being a lawyer.
What type of lawyer are you?
Intellectual property and artificial intelligence.
Okay. Who are your primary customers there?
Businesses.
Yeah. Do you have to do your own lead generation, or you kind of just work for an employer who kind of handles that? You go in there to do
I'm
the job?
trying to transition back to working for someone. I like to try everything before I kind of narrow down. So I feel like I've tried every type of lawyer you can be in terms of how you practice, not areas of law, because I know I only want to do IP. But I definitely see myself as working for someone in my lawyer professional career, and my entrepreneurial spirit comes in the content creation. I think I can weave that in, like whether I do limited legal services like contract review, drafting. Don't know if I would do that outside of work, but maybe like contract review tips, like, hey, you probably shouldn't sign that.
Especially now with the content creators,
Right.
they get deals.
I think that's definitely a good area to get into because a lot of content creators who aren't lawyers sell templates, so the market is flooded with non-lawyers selling agreements.
I mean, you could even just not even give it legal advice, but at least let people know when something is bad. Like, don't buy that, don't buy this.
Or even like maybe doing videos like talking about it. I don't really do legal videos. I have one, and people keep watching it and commenting and asking me questions, and I ignore
That's
it.
stuff people need.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions on this one video I posted months ago, and people still keep watching it, asking me questions, and I just pretend like I don't see it.
That's crazy. I don't know why
Because I'm
doctors and lawyers just don't look at the camera like, I am this professional, listen to me now. Like, I'm listening.
Oh, am I supposed to look at the camera?
No. You could.
Oh, that camera. Wrong camera.
So, speaking of businesses, you are not helping businesses. I know you reached out to me about a video you're working with right now.
Yes.
Are you starting to transition some of your skill sets to other businesses?
I would say yes. So social media management is something I have been exploring. So right now I currently manage the social media for a lounge. It's a 25+ lounge here in Houston.
And do you think that your style of content creation will transfer well, or is this a new learning opportunity for you?
Yeah, I've had their page for 2 weeks. When I took over the TikTok, they had like 98 followers. Now they have 500. This is my second week, like officially logged in. So I would say yeah. Just translating.
All right, man. Well,
numbers don't lie. People lie.
One of the things that make you unique is not only are you a hospitality influencer, I met her at a cocktail competition, but you don't drink spirits.
I don't.
You don't drink alcohol.
I drink alcohol. You said wine doesn't count, but it does.
Yeah, it's kind of like grape juice with a little bit of party in it.
Yes, if you drink Stella Rosa, if you drink real wine, like for example, Chapelton Vineyards, it's in Washington, Texas. Their wine is strong as fuck.
Okay. So are you? So when you go out for these beverage experiences, are you chasing after good wines right now?
It depends on the place, right? Like if you go to certain bars, they're just not gonna have good wine. That's not their demographic. But if you go obviously to like a Nobu, a Mastro's, they're gonna have a wine list. So it really depends. Like if it's a place that is just gonna have Stella Rosa or something, I probably won't drink at all.
I heard that. So well, craft class is coming up in January, and I want to pick your brain on how to evaluate some of these spiritless cocktails.
Okay, I'm an expert.
How do we follow you?
What do you mean?
Like, tell the camera.
Oh, my social media?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on all platforms, CapCut, Twitter too, but don't follow my Twitter. TikTok, Instagram, Threads. Yes, Threads, Instagram Threads, same thing. As told by Ego, the one and only. And if you, I do have a fake page though, and I do message people. So if someone messaged you first, it's not me. And they messaged a man, and he DM'd me like, I was hoping it was you.
Did he send the money?
No.
Okay.
Someone actually did DM me the other day from TikTok, and they spelled TikTok terrible. And they were just like, I want to send you money. And so I told him, like, I don't know, I think it was like almost 1,000. And then he was just like, okay, can we have a freaky FaceTime? I was like, oh God.
Lord, these chronically online people, it's,
So no, I did not get the money.
the apocalypse is here, guys. All right, we're out here. I'll see you guys later.